Donald Trump grew up surrounded by the rhythms of New York City. The streets were alive with the sounds of life, car horns echoing against tall buildings, the chatter of people hurrying to appointments, the occasional laughter spilling from cafes. As a boy, he was naturally drawn to movement and energy. He was curious about the world around him, always noticing details others overlooked. The way his father walked with purpose, the conversations he overheard about deals and properties, the constant sense of ambition in his household, all of these shaped him from an early age. His father was a formidable figure in his life. A man of business with a sharp mind and a commanding presence. He spent his days managing buildings and negotiating contracts. Donald admired him deeply. He observed how his father expected excellence from everyone around him, how he spoke with authority and demanded attention, and how failure was treated not as a disaster but as a learning opportunity. From these subtle lessons, Donald began to understand that success was more than luck. It required courage, vision, and persistence. School presented both opportunities and challenges. Donald was bright and energetic, and while he enjoyed learning, his energy often made it difficult to sit still in a traditional classroom. His teachers noticed his determination and intelligence, and they suggested environments where he could harness his energy more effectively. This led him to a military academy, a place where discipline shaped character. The academy demanded early mornings, precise routines, and accountability for every action. Donald discovered that structure could transform restless energy into focused effort, and that persistence could yield achievements that once seemed out of reach. The city skyline fascinated him. He saw towering buildings as monuments to ambition and imagination. Each structure represented someone's vision brought to life, and he longed to leave his own mark. Real estate became his calling. He immersed himself in the world of buildings, properties, and negotiations, learning to navigate the delicate balance between risk and opportunity. Deals required him to be strategic, persuasive, and resilient. Each success reinforced his belief in the power of ambition, and each setback became a lesson in adaptation. Donald's personality was unmistakable. He projected confidence in every interaction. People noticed him, whether in business meetings, public events, or casual conversations. Some admired his charisma, others questioned his methods, but few could ignore him. He understood the importance of presence and reputation. His attention to appearance, the way he spoke, and the energy he brought into rooms all became tools to influence perception. He cultivated a public image that was bold, unapologetic, and memorable, knowing that influence depended as much on perception as on reality. As his career expanded, he ventured into projects that ranged from hotels and casinos to television ventures. Each undertaking reflected his desire not only for wealth but also for recognition. His name became a brand, representing a promise of grandeur and success. The media noticed him immediately, recognizing that he could command attention in ways few others could. He mastered the art of engagement, understanding that publicity, even if controversial, amplified his influence. Television brought Donald into homes across the nation. His persona was larger than life, and his approach to business was showcased to millions. People learned about his confidence, decisiveness, and sometimes brash style. He understood the power of storytelling, presenting himself as someone who thrived under pressure and never shied away from challenges. Television not only magnified his business ventures but also positioned him as a figure who could shape public opinion. Combining charisma with strategy, politics entered Donald's life as a natural extension of his public identity. Leadership, he realized, was not only about managing companies but also about inspiring people, communicating ideas, and influencing society. Campaigns demanded stamina, resilience, and a deep understanding of the hopes and fears of citizens. Donald spoke directly to people, framing complex issues in language that resonated emotionally. He understood that politics was as much about connection as it was about policy. His ability to captivate audiences and maintain focus on his vision became a defining aspect of his rise. Throughout his life, family played a central role. Relationships with his children, partners, and extended family shaped his decisions and provided grounding amid the chaos of public life. Parenting taught him patience, responsibility, and the intricate art of influence. Marriages and personal partnerships offered both joy and challenge, reminding him that human connection required as much attention as ambition. He learned that the demands of public life could strain relationships, but they also provided opportunities for growth and reflection. Controversy became a familiar companion. Whether in business, media, or politics, Donald faced criticism and opposition. Yet he approached these moments as tests of resilience. He believed that determination, assertiveness, and confidence could transform challenges into advantages. Mistakes became opportunities to adapt, setbacks became lessons in strategy, and victories reinforced his belief in the power of action. He learned to navigate complex social, financial, and political landscapes, understanding that influence required both skill and courage. Donald's story demonstrates the complex dance between ambition and responsibility. Every decision carried consequences, every public statement attracted scrutiny, and every venture required careful planning. Yet he thrived on challenge, often choosing paths that demanded risk, creativity, and persistence. He understood that fortune favored those willing to act decisively, that attention was a powerful currency, and that a clear vision could guide both personal and public endeavors. Even amid controversy, Donald continued to expand his presence. His ventures reflected his personality, bold, ambitious, and often unconventional. He maintained a focus on results, believing that action spoke louder than promises. Media appearances, business negotiations, and political campaigns all reflected his approach to life: direct, confident, and calculated. He learned that influence was amplified by visibility and that leadership required both performance and perception. Public recognition shaped his identity as much as personal experience. People debated his methods, admired his successes, and criticized his choices. Yet his life reflects a commitment to action and self-assurance. He understood that ambition required courage, and that visibility required confidence. Whether building properties, appearing on television, or addressing crowds, he cultivated an image of determination and purpose. Donald Trump's story is not only about business and politics but also about human psychology, perception, and strategy. It illustrates the interplay between personal ambition and public influence, showing how determination, visibility, and resilience can shape a life that is both remarkable and controversial. His experiences provide lessons about confidence, communication, and the importance of taking initiative. Through triumphs and setbacks, Donald remained focused on his vision. His life reflects the constant effort to balance ambition with responsibility, public recognition with personal relationships, and opportunity with risk. He demonstrates that persistence, careful strategy, and a willingness to act boldly can define a career and leave a lasting impression on the world. Today, his story is studied, discussed, and debated across the globe. People are fascinated by the journey from a young boy in New York to a figure of national and international prominence. Scholars analyze his strategies, media experts evaluate his public persona, and citizens reflect on his influence. Yet behind the fame lies a story of observation, learning, and determination, a story of someone who turned curiosity and ambition into action, constantly seeking to shape his environment and leave a legacy. Donald Trump's life reminds us that every moment offers lessons. The way he observed, learned, and acted demonstrates the power of attention, ambition, and strategy. Success, as his journey shows, is rarely accidental. It is shaped by choices, resilience, and the courage to pursue vision despite obstacles. His story is an invitation to consider the impact of determination, focus, and presence in shaping one's own path. In reflecting on his experiences, one can see the constant tension between public perception and personal intention, between ambition and responsibility, between action and consequence. Donald's life teaches that navigating this tension requires skill, persistence, and clarity. It shows that influence is not only about what one achieves but also about how one communicates, inspires, and engages with the world. Ultimately, Donald Trump's story is about the pursuit of a vision, the willingness to act boldly, and the resilience to face challenges without retreat. It is a story of observation, learning, and growth. It is a story that continues to unfold, providing lessons about ambition, strategy, and the power of presence. I share stories like this every day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.